welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle, and I'm a woman in her 30s. I'm a single mother, I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner, I'm an immigrant from Cameroon over 20 years ago, and I'm a tourist also. So on this channel, you're going to find aspects of out of those items above, and I've lived a long life, right? And I'm hoping that somebody will be able to learn a thing or two, and uh, hopefully they will feel free to share their experience also, so that I can learn a thing or two, and I still have a lot of things to learn. So please feel free to like, comment, and share, so that we can build a community, right? Okay. So today we're going to be talking about traveling. I love to travel. I always say when I have money, my family will barely see me because I will always be jetting somewhere else, and either that or just kind of traveling all around and visiting the various family members because we're kind of scattered. Uh, I uh, I have family in Canada, in Toronto and Montreal, so I've been up there a few times already. I think like 3 or 4 times to visit them. We've been to Germany um, like 4 times already, I think, because I have a lot of family in Germany. As unfortunate as it is with the way Cameroon is, there's a lot of educated kids with no jobs, so a lot of us are finding ourselves out of the country. And as of now, Germany still has some fairly decent immigration policies, so a lot of us have gone over there. So I've been there to visit a few times, and while over there, I visited other countries also. I've traveled within Germany a decent bit. Um, what else? Yeah, that, and then of course family in Cameroon. So the goal is to go around and visit all of them also. So far, I've been to 6 of the 7 continents. I haven't made my way up to Antarctica yet. Someday, it's on the list though, but I don't like the cold, so I'm not especially in a hurry to do it, but I would love to just to say that I've been there. Um, um, so let's see. In Africa, I've only visited Cameroon so far. I haven't had a chance yet to go to other African countries. I'm hoping someday. I right now on my mind, I want to get to Namibia, Kenya, and Rwanda. I would like to tackle 3 of those countries in one trip. I have a friend in Rwanda and in Kenya. They've been inviting me to come visit, so hoping to be able to do that. Um, in in North America, I mentioned the U.S. and Canada, of course. And then in the South America continent, I visited Costa Rica. It was stunning. And my son loved it. He was asking me about going back to visit again here recently. Excuse me. I found Costa Rica a little bit expensive, especially for a nation that's still a developing nation, but it's been so tourist infested that it's expensive. I found it to be expensive, and with them taking $1, it just kind of it was more expensive than my friend and I thought. And my friend is very well traveled. She's been to over 50 countries, I think, at this point. We found it to be expensive, but it was stunning, gorgeous. The people were very inviting. The water, the mountain, the forest. My son loved it also. And in Europe, I've been to Luxembourg, small country. It was beautiful. I love getting on the tram, and just kind of going up and down. And I love doing that wherever I go, where there's public transportation. If it's included in the ticket that I buy, I just hop on and go as far as as the line goes, and then come back as far as the line goes the opposite way, and just if I need to hop on and hop off and see what I need to visit in the various places. It was very nice. The people, we didn't get to interact with a lot of people, but we were fairly close to downtown, and there were a lot of Africans downtown, which was a huge surprise. I was not expecting that at all. So many Africans in Luxembourg, because it's like Luxembourg, right? It's not one of those places that you hear about a lot, but a lot of Africans over there. I got to even visit an African shop, and it had a lot of products in it. I was very, very, very surprised to see that. There was places of Germany, of course, and then I went to Italy. I went to in Italy. I visited Pavado, which was about an hour from Venice. So I have some friends in Pavado, and they took me to Venice for a few hours. Venice was stunning. I was so happy to be there. I was like doing my happy dance. I love the water. I thought I might be a little bit scared just because of the nature of the way the city is built, right? But no, I loved it. Very crowded, beautiful architecture, and just the way, just the idea of it, a floating city, is just it's still standing all these years later. Blew my mind for sure. Uh, we were only there for a few hours. I intend to go back at some point. The people I was with, they live in Italy, in Pavado. They've been there, Pavado. Anyway, one of the two. They've been there a few times, and they were over it, so we didn't stay too long. And then also went to Bologna. I have family over there also, and got to visit some of the touristic sites around it. I enjoyed it. Italy was beautiful. I got to eat some of the best dessert. Ah, beautiful, and then drink some of the most beautiful, wonderful cappuccinos and the food, the food, love the food. I will go back to Italy just for the food. That's I don't like eat Italian food here. It's not something that I go and invest into, but I will go to Italy just to enjoy the food over there. I've been to Brussels a few times. I like the architecture. I like the cobblestone streets. I don't like the history with the African nations, so I don't want to spend too much time on Belgium. But I enjoyed it. I went to France. It's been maybe 16 years to Paris for a weekend. I was very young, so I didn't get to enjoy as much as I would have. My son has been asking me about going. He wants to see the Eiffel Tower, so I'm gonna try and see how I can take him over there, spoiled little one, and I'm proud to be able to do that. He's been to Germany twice with me. He's been to Canada like 3 times already with me, also. And he went to Luxembourg with me, and then we went to Turkey. Also, he enjoyed Turkey. He enjoyed seeing the cats, the food. He didn't like so much. He enjoyed going around with me, visiting the mosque, and but he didn't like people constantly trying to touch him. Just because he's small and cute, people were always like trying to play with his hair, kind of touch him and catch his attention. He hated that. Was not a fan at all, so he was ready to go back. But the country itself was beautiful. Spending time on the Bosphorus was beautiful. We crossed into Asia and we spent a few minutes over there, and that was nice. Um, um, so I enjoyed my stay in Turkey. Um, where else have I been? I've been to South Korea before South Korea became a thing. This was what, circa 2016, I think. My university, we had a lot of international students, a lot of students from South Korea, from Japan, from China. I became really good friends with some girls from South Korea, so I went to visit over there. I mostly spent my time in Seoul. I had an invitation to visit some of the little towns around, but I wasn't organized enough, so I didn't get the chance to do that. I would love to go back, but Seoul was beautiful. Even as a black woman at that point in time, I felt welcome. And I found navigating there fairly easy, even though I didn't speak the language at all. A lot of things in public spaces was in English, and people were kind as far as giving instructions. I went and got dressed in the traditional outfits. This was pre Instagram, but I did that, decorated my hair, got me all pretty. That was fun. I enjoyed that. And then we ate fried chicken by the river at night, and that was so stunning. That was around the time of Gangnam Style, so it was kind of amazing being there. And did some shopping. I like the clothes. It was kind of hard finding my size over there since they're so much smaller, so that was a little bit of a challenge. And from what I've heard, it's the case all over Asia. So if you're traveling there as a not small person, be aware. Supposedly, I would love to visit more of Asia, but I haven't had. But go to Bali, go to Vietnam, go to Thailand. You know the key places. Um, I'd love to be able to do that at some point. stay away from places of unrest, of course. So I did that. Um, what else? Oh, I went to Australia a few years ago with a group of girlfriends. It was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Went to Sydney. And what's the other big city? Oh, Sydney. Oh, I can't remember. And then we went to Cairns, the island. We wanted to go underwater scuba, the walking scuba, but we couldn't because we flew in that morning and we were flying out that afternoon. And they said we couldn't do that because the change in altitude was risky for us, that our eardrums could burst. So they said we couldn't do that since we had to fly out that afternoon. I think they said we needed at least 24 hours or something like that. So couldn't do that. But we had a beautiful time. The water was so clean and warm. It was in November. The water was warm and it was so beautiful. I have a friend that I met on Instagram. We became really good friends. She lives in Australia actually. So she got to show me around some of the cities, and she's actually invited me for her wedding this November, and I'm looking forward to going. And she wants me to bring my son, so we're going to see how to make that happen. Um, what else? I think that's all the country so far. And then I lived in California for a few years. My son was born in California. We're living in San Jose, and I went there as a traveling nurse. So I lived in the LA area for like 3 months, and then I lived in Orange County for like 3 months, and then I went up north as a traveling nurse also. And then I was living in San Jose. I did that for a few years. While over there, I went to Hawaii, and then of course I was visiting down. I have friends in we used to live in San Diego, so we went to visit in San Diego. I visited LA, Orange County. So most of the beaches down there I visited. Um, I love the beach. And if I had to choose between beach and mountain, I think the mountain will win because there's just I can't describe it. I love the water, but something about the tall trees, the clean air, the birds, it's cleaner. Um, Yeah, I think I would go with the mountain over the beach. Um, um, yeah, I drove through Big Sur. It was such a beautiful trip. Um, I've had some pretty good memories while traveling. I'm very proud of that, and I'm looking forward to having a lot more. It's just it's such a beautiful way to discover yourself, right? And I was doing a lot of it by myself, at least flying by myself and meeting people, the places where I was going before I had my son. And since then, him and I have been traveling a fair amount, which is it's incredible watching the world through his little eyes. He's fascinated, and he's 6. He's getting to that point where he's asking more questions. He knows a little thing or two about the various places we're going to. So it's nice for him. I love that I get to treat him like that, and he's enjoying it. He enjoys flying. We bring some things to keep him occupied. He loves sitting comfy in his chair, putting his earphones on, and looking for the movie to watch. And it makes him feel like a big boy. And then to get his food, and he doesn't normally eat like airplane food, so I have to bring him something. And I have a Delta lounge access. So a few times we stop at the lounge and get some food, and he got used to that. So whatever we travel, he expects for that to happen. I've spoiled him. I've spoiled him, and it's all my fault. Therefore, right now, I am proud of it, and it's just a matter of analyzing it so that it doesn't become overly much. But I absolutely love that I have been able to do that for him. Hawaii was stunning. He loved Costa Rica. He loved staying in a hotel. He loves the beach. Um, and so do I, of course. So I'm looking forward to more adventures with him for sure. And it's always so interesting traveling with kids. Strangers tend to be nicer for the most part. Again, he doesn't like to be touched. They're always trying to touch him. He does not like that at all. But he's getting to the point where he's more able to verbalize, hey, please don't touch me. And I'm trying to teach him that it's okay for him to say that. People don't have to keep touching him. Um, um, but yeah, and then he's picking places where he wants to go. When we're going through like magazines and he sees ads on the TV, he's always like, Mama, I want to go there and there. And I'm like, oh man, spoiled. But I love it. It's traveling is such a wonderful way to discover yourself, to discover the world. Solo traveling is chef kiss, as long as you're safe, right? You gotta do the research and about the places where you want to go to. And as a black woman, I also have to be even more conscientious and try to pay attention to what people are saying about stories about black women online. When I was in South Korea, it was so weird. People like trying to sneak pictures of me, and then people trying to rub my belly. I think they were saying for good luck or something like that. That it was strange. It was funny at first, and then it became like, oh wow, people trying to do it without permission and all of that. That became not so fun real quick. But it's part of traveling. Okay. Not that it's okay, but not the people doing that. It's not okay, but people are who they are. It's very important wherever you find yourself to be able to set your boundaries unapologetically, even if the people don't understand it, to be able to walk away. Oh, voila, what in Turkey? Man, the haggling in Turkey. I found Turkey to be a little bit overwhelming due to the fact that the haggling, like when we were walking downtown, even with my son, people propositioning to me, um, um, wanted me to have an experience before I went back to the US. Like when walking down the street, people every auto restaurant, every restaurant, like, oh, come and eat over here, come and eat over here, come and eat. And then at first you want to be nice and kind and smile and try to explain, no, we just ate, we're okay, we don't need anything, but they would not take no for an answer. You find yourself wasting like 1 minute here and 1 minute there progressively. Excuse me. By the time we're leaving, we're exhausted. And then also people asking me what I do in the US, how I make my money. It's like it's none of your business. And then when I would tell them that I was a nurse, they would assume that I make a lot of money. So of course they will show me what they were selling even more. It got to the point where I was just telling them that yeah, I was there with my husband, and my husband, he's from Cameroon also. Because whenever actually I had to tell them I was from Cameroon because they didn't know where that was, so they would leave me alone. Because whenever I was saying I was from the US, to them it was like, ooh, money. So I had to make up a whole story in order to be able to get about my day and not feel so many people in my face. And I didn't like that at all. But besides that, the people left us alone for the most part. They were courteous at our restaurants, got good service, um, lots of cats, lots of dogs in the street. Um, yes, it was a good trip. Oh, I've been to Amsterdam. I enjoyed being in the city of Amsterdam. I did that a few years ago, and I stayed in a hostel right downtown, and I just loved it. I was able to walk around the city at night, at midnight, and I felt so safe. I remember just thinking, wow, I feel so safe. I would not do that in the US, in a place where I haven't been before. Even here where I live, it's a very good neighborhood, but I don't think I'll feel comfortable walking around downtown at midnight. Actually, I know I wouldn't by myself, but maybe it was innocent of me, but also there were a lot of people walking around also, and I wasn't going in like dark corners or anything like that. But I remember just having this feeling of wow, it's safe here, and I loved it. I loved that so much. I wish I could feel like that in the U.S. But yeah, got a long way to go. I think that's all the places I visited. Last time I was in Germany, I finally made it to Berlin. I had been there what like 3 times before, and I hadn't made it to Berlin yet, so I'm glad that I got to visit that. It's a very touristic place. Lots of languages from all over the world could be heard over there. Beautiful city. Moving around, the transportation system was pretty easy. Um, Lots of cool places to see. And yeah, I've 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 traveled a good amount so far. Not nearly as much as I would like to, but I have a few projects. So my family always be like, "Oh yeah, do travel, I'll travel." But I have friends who've been to 50 plus country, and I always tell my family they have no idea. I mean, to each his story, right? But it's just like I want that to be my story, and God willing, inshallah, I will make that happen. Well, if you've been here, hopefully it's because you enjoy traveling and hopefully you learn a thing or two. Let me know if you've been to any of the places or what you think of my observations of the places, what other places you think I should visit. All right. Thank you for being here.